On today, pretty good. We'll get a chance to see the film and see where we're at, but I like the start.
What, who had the upper hand today that you felt?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we didn't run the ball very well, but we did some. It's hard to say, you know, when you don't have to tackle. We did it. Offense did hit some big plays today, so we got to clean that up. That's something that we've talked about in the off season. Stop turning over, don't give up the big plays, and be better in special teams, and we'll have a hell of a year.
I don't know if experimentation is the right word, but it looks like there's some moving parts on the offensive line. Is that something that you see continuing? Is that something you want to do, or is that just trying?
I think moving parts where we have guys that are out.
Okay.
Oliver's dinged up, Fleming, Rashad, Pete went down. It's really just who's healthy, really.
Since the spring, you talked about how depth really has helped this team. Is there any particular position group that you've seen benefit from it?
Oh, it's a linebacker and D-line. I mean, we have 16 scholarship D-linemen and we have 12 scholarship linebackers. We have as many options as we've ever had here on the defensive side. Now, offensively, we're deeper at O-line, but we're still short one or two, and we're short at wideout. But outside of that, it's the defensive front seven that we're the deepest.
Coach, so far just kind of turned attention to running backs a little bit. Have you been pleased with the competition there so far?
Oh, yeah, it's been great. Yeah, Ito, Jalen, and Justice have been great. I anticipate all three will play and be major contributors.
Talking about that defensive line, it's kind of like you go from rags to riches almost with the number of guys, and not only the number of guys, but the quality that you brought in.
Yeah, you add in. Well, Ricky Parks got eligible late, and then you got Mustafa to add into it, and then you got Quincy and Bolton, and before you know it, you have 5 guys that at one point were at Oklahoma State, Auburn, Oklahoma, and Kansas. Pretty good start. Then you bring in Denarius Antoine, who was an Oklahoma State signee. Bring in a linebacker, Swain, who was at Auburn, and you up your talent pool. You know, you hope what you saw on film is what you're seeing, and I think every day they're going to get better. The more they get in shape and the more they understand what they're doing, the faster they'll play. We're just tip of the iceberg right now of where we can be with those guys up front.
And in addition to those guys, you had guys that were sort of emerging, like Xavier Thigpen and Rod Creighton and Jabari Poole and things like that. And you go from a weakness to a major, potentially.
I would think so, just by depth. Your best will play when you're fresh, but Jabari and Darian Yancey, you could play end on third downs, and then Thigpen, and also Rod had gotten better, and Draper. So all those guys, we just have a lot of different guys in rotating. We took Derek Dixon, who came here this summer, who's going to be a good player. So, let alone J. Mike Edwards, we got a lot of guys that could give us a chance there.
So depth of wideout was a little short, but Casey Morton looks like a guy that looks really crisp. And talk about
He's doing fine. The biggest thing is keeping Casey healthy. That's the biggest thing. Casey had, from an ankle last year to a little bit of concussion. We just got to use him when we need him. You got to be careful how much you expose him.
Especially with the addition.
That touchdown while it was still in the Marquise there, explosion energy right there. Is that kind of
well, it's great for the offense, but that's ridiculous for the defense. It's fourth down. The only way that you can lose the game is to throw it over your head. We can't be in a coverage that allows it to be thrown over our head. If it ends up being a tip ball, if it ends up being some sort of miracle, but to have a guy in a trail position and just really throw it over his head, that's awesome for the offense and inexcusable for the defense.
Especially with the addition of the tight ends and the depth of running backs, is it safe to say this might be the offense you've envisioned ever since you've been here this year?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I hope so. I envision being able to score and not turning it over. So however we have to do it. But I would agree having tight ends here that you got to be able to run the ball better. So Julian's still just progressing, missed all spring. Taylor's fighting his butt off, and we just have to figure out a way to run it better, control it better, and score when we get the ball and not turn it over.
True freshmen, any of them making their mark early, like Patrick Brooks kind of was.
Patrick Brooks has a real feel. He's got great balance and body control. Early in his career, I think he'll be a really good third down back and then eventually turn into hopefully an every down back. But he showed some flashes today. Today was the first day he really got reps. That was good. Tez went down and got to rep the other guys. And so I think he's shown up a little bit. Dakota Sinyard's fighting through a little bit of a back issue, but has shown a lot of good things. And that's probably it so far. We have so much depth on defense, not many other guys are getting reps. Offensively, Jordan Mitchell and Corey Robertson. One's a redshirt freshman, one's a true freshman. So both are doing some good things.
Because you're in the pads crunching together, does that change the order out there at all?
I think to an extent, it changes it from guys up front. It changes that. It changes from your guys on the perimeter being able to wrap up. So definitely changes that a little bit. Beautiful.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.